You know Santa, the one guy who comes through the chimney, judges your life once a year, and leave a toy. Pretty cute, right? But Iceland said, one Santa? Huh, too easy. In Iceland, kids don't wait for one jolly man. They wait for 13 chaotic brothers, mountain trolls who spend their time doing the absolute worst things you can imagine, like slamming doors, stealing sausages, and creepily staring through windows in the darkness. These are the Yule Lads, and their story includes a man-eating mother, a government ban, and a surprising transformation from monsters to Christmas mascots. Hey, I am Reem, and today on Request we are heading deep into the Icelandic mountains. But before we begin, hit subscribe. Your support helps the series grow, and let's go! Our story begins far from anything that looks like Christmas, in Iceland's harsh, isolated mountains, and according to Icelandic folklore, the Yule Lads are the sons of Grýla, and Grýla is one of the most feared creatures in Iceland, an ancient ogress carrying a giant sack. Grýla didn't sneak gifts into stockings. No, she stole naughty children, cooked them, and ate them. Quick note before we continue. See that guy next to her? That's her third husband. Since he contribute nothing to the folklore, we won't mention him again. Okay, back to the chaos. The Yule Lads were no better. For centuries, they weren't cute and they weren't funny. They were used to terrify children into behaving through the longest, darkest winters. It's like Iceland looked at Santa and said, "Oh, wow, let's make 13 versions of him, and none of them should be mentally stable." So, what did this nightmare family do for fun? They broke into your home, not to deliver gifts, but to commit 13 separate petty crimes. For 13 nights before Christmas, from December 12 to December 24, one lad comes down from the mountains, and every single one has special personalities. For example, Door Slammer stays up all night slamming doors at 3 a.m. just because he enjoys the sheer auditory pain of it. Skyer Gobbler, he steals Iceland yogurt right from the bowl. Window Peeper, harmless that guy. He have the ultimate creep by just stands outside waiting for his chance to peer into your private life in the darkness through windows. Sausage Swiper, he hides in the rafters waiting for meat to dry. And the list goes on. Spoon licker, bowl licker, pot scraper. You feel like Iceland has a serious spoon licking problem. And trust me, it gets even weirder. These weren't gift givers. They stole food, made noise, created chaos, and terrified children. These stories became so frightening, so in 1746, the Danish authorities issued a law banning parents from telling these tales because kids were having nightmares. And just when you think Icelandic folklore can't get darker, there is one more family member. Meet the Yule Cat, a gigantic black mythical cat that roams the snowy countryside looking for specific kinds of victim and eats everyone who didn't get new clothes for Christmas. Yes, clothes. This wasn't just a random legend. If you couldn't afford new clothes before Christmas, it meant you were poor, unprepared, and likely to freeze. The Yule Cat was a dark poetic warning against poverty and unpreparedness. So in Iceland, the ultimate Christmas gift wasn't a toy. It was a new pair of socks to prove you weren't poor enough to be devoured. But how did this family of trolls and their killer cat turn into wholesome Christmas icons? After the 1746 ban, the tales slowly softened. Then, in the 20th century, a famous Icelandic poet completely rewrote their personalities. Iceland wanted to modernize. Teachers, writers, and parents reshaped the folklore, keeping the number 13s, the strange names, and the mischief, but removing the violence. The Yule Lads stopped terrorizing children, and instead, they leave gifts in children's shoes for 13 nights and leave a raw potato if the child misbehaves. By the 1930s, they became Iceland's version of Santa Claus. See? only Iceland could turn a family of trolls into adorable Christmas ambassadors. Today, the Yule Lads are everywhere in Iceland on TV shows, decorations, chocolate boxes, and holiday events. Starting December 12, kids leave their shoes by the window. Good kids get candy, and naughty kids get a potato. And after Christmas, the 13 brothers leave one by one until January 6. There is something beautiful in this story. It shows us that traditions aren't fixed. They are living, breathing myths that we, as a community, decide to change. Iceland decided to keep the drama, but chose candy over cannibalism. The Yule Lads are the perfect symbol of Iceland, ancient, dramatic, strange, and utterly unforgettable. So forget the North Pole. The real Christmas action happens in the Icelandic mountains. And you, which one of the 13 lads is your favorite? Tell me in the comments. I love reading your choices. If you're still here, you are my kind of traveler, the curious ones who love story hidden behind the places, and I will see you in the next story.